I've had this shirt since I was in high school, so it's at least 7 years old. And actually this, I just realized I bought my junior year of high school, so this is 9 years old, which kind of makes me feel really frugal. Everything I buy, I use. I just think I'm practical and logical in buying things.
To me, I think it would be a very boring life if you just didn't have anything. Just came home and just had maybe had a TV set and a simple, I don't know. It just seemed like it'd be very boring. I have been collecting for 45 years. I take such joy in looking at my stuff and going through my stuff. It's a big part of my life.
We all have stuff. Some just more than others.
Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure, so what people see in things, you have to kind of get inside their head sometimes. It's kind of hard to know. The Reuse Center is a warehouse that accepts and stores and sells items that people no longer have a use for a variety of reasons. Accept it as donations, and then we sell it back to the community at hopefully at a fair value. That's all right.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
No, I consider myself as a pack rat and a hoarder. And sometimes when I'm upset, I just come here and walk around and might buy something. Sometimes I feel bad, you know, because half of the stuff in my house I don't use.
Some people just buy to buy, I'm sorry to say. Filling a void, isn't that what it's about, I think? Yeah.
I'm very fascinated by the 60s. So if you look at my collection, I would bet 85 to 90% of everything that I have that I treasure are from the 60s. I love anything Detroit Tigers from the 60s, Detroit Lions, and of course Detroit Red Wings. Some of the things are rare, but they're not really extremely valuable. And a lot of the stuff is just very special to me. God forbid if ever the house burned down or if somebody ever broke in and stole all this stuff, I would be just devastated and crushed. And I kind of go through a ritual of just kind of circling and double checking everything and making sure our windows are bolted and doors are locked. For some reason, I have this fear that somehow the stove is going to be left on. A fire will start. So as I leave, I admit this, look at the stove before I leave and just make sure that it's off. If I really had to look into it, especially my love for the 60s, I would have to say it was because of my childhood. The 60s was a very bad time for me growing up. I didn't have a lot of parent support. I didn't have the father that would come home and play catch with me. So I really feel some of the collection, especially my love for the 60s, sometimes deals with that I didn't have that parental support, so I'm trying to recapture it. This is Olympia Stadium, and that's where the Red Wings played in the 60s. I never went with my dad. The ticket stubs I got, actually, I met this gentleman, so he gave me just a box full of old stubs. So as I framed this picture, I just kind of put all the ticket stubs in it from the 60s. No, I'd never been in Olympia, never stepped foot in it.
People get excited about buying, don't they? And if it's new or used, I mean, people like to buy in this country. So whether they need it or not, probably not. You know, we probably don't need a lot of what we have. And you learn that when you get older, I think. Yeah.
My living space would be an apartment, I guess you would say. Objects, just looking around, I have couches, tables, chairs, desk. I don't buy big things, mostly like groceries and, binders, notebooks, pens, pencils, highlighters. I think that I try and save my money as much as I can, so I really only try to buy things that I absolutely need. It probably stemmed from my parents got divorced when I was little, and while they were getting a divorce, my dad wasn't really good about giving money to my mom to help support me and my brothers. I remember getting clothes from my grandma and like the free lunches from the government and like these Christmas packages for people, and there was this weird doll that they gave me that I never really liked it, but I kept it for a long time, and I never knew where it really came from except that we went to some church for this thing, and then later talking to my mom about it when she was kind of telling me as an adolescent, you know, the stuff that we went through, it kind of clicked. I have a lot of pictures of my family to like keep them in my head and make sure that I didn't forget about them. And pictures that people made for me. The painting with the flowers, you can show it, it's fine. My mom painted. She used to paint a lot. She was really artistic when she was growing up. And then she took a break for a while, and then she was talking about getting back into painting and stuff. So one year for Christmas, I bought her like a canvas and some acrylic paints. So that's actually one of the first paintings that she painted when she got back into it, and she painted it for me.
It is just stuff. But again, every piece has a story.
The pictures that I have out remind me of an important part of my life.
It really is just stuff. I mean, it's just a piece of wood. But to me, it's memories. It's fond memories.